Sold. 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 Sold.
Allow me a second, please, to make my first impression.
YouTube, what up? Welcome back to another Pounds 978 custom video. And today we got Symbiote Daredevil, or Daredevil as Venom. Not sure if it's Carnage or Venom. I'm going to assume it's a Venom because the first time I seen him, this was part of the Venomverse cover. It was Daredevil standing beside Elektra in their symbiotic form. So I'm just going to say he's venomized. But that was the first time I was introduced to Daredevil as a symbiote. And I thought it looked pretty cool. And then later on, we saw that Funko Pops was coming out with a symbiote Daredevil. And it looked really cool. It looked really simple. And that's what kind of made me want to do this custom, because of how simple and cool it would look. If I had an extra Elektra laying around, I probably would have made her version as well. But yeah, this was pretty simple to make. You guys should know the recipe if you don't really recognize it. It's a Carnage figure. So if you want to make yourself one of these, all you really need is a Carnage figure and a little bit of sculpt or something else, because I didn't use sculpt for those horns. But that is Carnage. The entire body, head to toe, is Carnage. The horns are from Death's Head's horns. He has like horns on his head. The reason for using these horns are because they're flexible and they're bendy, so they won't break if you ever drop the figure or anything like that. So all I had to do was just cut that out and refigure them on the Carnage head. Shave down the eyes, of course, so the sculpted lines that are on the Carnage eyes. You don't even need to shave that off if you're going to add more sculpt, so don't even worry about that part. If you want to use epoxy sculpt, then that works too, or Procreate, or whatever you guys use, that works. Here's a quick side-by-side comparison, just so you can see the colors are different. Carnage is bright red, Daredevil's a darker red, mixed with a little bit of light. You can see also, all I had to do was prepare the shoulder joints. Minimum preparation, because all the joints are red anyway, so I didn't have to sand this figure entirely like I would normally sand figures. Just the shoulders, some of the hips. A couple areas I did prepare, like wherever everything articulates, I had to prepare, but it was minimum sanding. So I didn't sand the elbows, the knees, or the ankles. If you're confused by what I mean with prepare, I mean taking an X-Acto knife and carving away at some of the plastic to allow some paint to be applied. The front of the neck was prepared but not sanded. So again, the neck wasn't sanded. The shoulders, the top of the shoulders were sanded, because I know moving the arms, you don't want to see a bright red. You want to be able to have the same exact shade on the joint that's on the upper shoulder. So I did sand the shoulders. That's pretty much it. Now comparing it to Red Venom, which is more of a Toxin color. If you own Toxin, you'll know he's more of a burgundy or a brick color. So if you want to compare this Daredevil to Toxin, there you go. It's very close. It's not as dark as the Toxin figure would be, but it isn't as bright as the Carnage figure would be. So I would say it's kind of in between Toxin and Carnage, with shading, because this Daredevil does have subtle shading. I don't know if I mentioned that yet. You can see it when the lights don't shine on it so much. On another note, I made this Venom a while back, but I decided to give him a revisit and added black in his face, around his lip, and around the emblem, just to make it different, because I've been sitting on it for a long time. I didn't know what to do with it. So I decided to just add some finishing touches to it. I might not even be finished. I might even cell shade it. I want to learn how to do that, so I may do that. Some natural light so you can see the shading a little better. It's very subtle, but there is darker hints of red and lighter shades on it, so hopefully you guys...
Alright, listen here, guys. What I'm doing is, I'm gonna add a little bit of shading there. A little bit of light side, because it was once light before. Then I added a little bit of darkness, you see? Then I added a little more lighter red to put over the darkness in order to get it that 3 kind of marble look. You see what I'm saying now?
If you ever have thought about purchasing an airbrush, I would say get familiar with painting first, have fun with it, and then definitely invest in a paintbrush. It's pretty awesome to have. I was scared at first, but it's pretty fun and easy to use, so I would recommend an airbrush. I wouldn't buy the most expensive airbrush, and don't buy the cheapest airbrush, because you get what you pay for, but get one in the middle, $100. But YouTube, that is it. You can make this without an airbrush, so don't get discouraged. Learn how to customize, take the necessary steps. If you want, I do have a couple tutorial videos on my channel that'll maybe help you guys get a little further in the customizing process. Feel free to check those out, and in the meantime, give a guy a thumb up if you like this video. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think about this symbiote? What could I have done to make it better? And till the next time, thanks. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Duh.
If you choose to subscribe, you the man. Yes, you. Everyone below in the comments, yes, you too. Thank you very much for showing me love. Who knew? It's ironic how we think out the box for you too, right?